where am I looking now? To be very honest with you, I think climate change is the single biggest economic opportunity of our lifetime. Energy, clean energy, decarbonization. Like, for example, in climate change, one of the most interesting things that I believed in for a while, and I've talked about this publicly around Tesla, is that we are going to disrupt utilities. Because if you can have residential solar combined with residential storage, combined with software that allows an individual person to very simply understand how much energy they've generated, understand the economic value of that energy, and then contribute it back into the grid at times where you don't have to build peakers and you can do load smoothing, you're going to take $1 trillion of power infrastructure and just incinerate it.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to present you with the best of 2020 from these 3 Tesla investors and enthusiastic YouTubers. Stephen Mark Ryan from Solving the Money Problem, Galileo Rush from Hyperchange, and Warren Redlick, both of them bullish on Tesla. Both making a very well-documented argumentation. Both in a winning long-term investment trade.
Let's take a step back and work our way through this logically. What's left to prove, and to who? I mean, yes, there's plenty of dullards out there that still think Tesla can't make a profit, they're buying the FUD, they don't understand capital management. Who cares? I mean, really, Tesla's in the S&P, they've had 5 profitable quarters back to back, they've got like $20 billion of cash, they're selling every product they make, they can raise capital at the drop of a hat, as they've proven this year, raising about $10 billion like that. I mean, there's literally nothing left to prove to anyone whose opinion matters. Sure, if Elon Musk was an approval-seeking, needy little beta bitch, then maybe there'd be something to prove to the market. But come on, the company's worth $600 billion. Every retail investor with their head screwed on straight believes in the mission and understands where they're going. Like I said, they can raise capital at the drop of a hat. They're in the S&P 500. They've got a shit ton of money. They're incredibly profitable. Who cares? Who cares about proving anything to the morons that still don't understand this company is managing their capital effectively to grow and scale their production so they win this decade? Doesn't matter. It's a waste of time.
Almost forgot. How am I going to leave you without telling you what happens next? What is the biggest problem when Tesla hits 1 million vehicles delivered next year? They can do that without the 4680 cell. Then this is where the struggle comes in for Tesla. I think people are getting a little too optimistic. The 4680, Tesla's brand new battery cell, they have to put that into every single, like, you know, the Model Y in Berlin, the Cybertruck. I think these cars are already being priced in to have a massive production ramp in 2022 and 2023, but that is all hinging on Tesla's revolutionary new battery cell actually going to production, actually being on the road. So I really want to take this time to dampen expectations about the 4680 ramp and say, after 1 million or 1.2 million vehicles, wherever they end 2021 at with the current capacity, once they start moving to the 4680, I think it's growing pains. I think it's harder to scale. I think we have a sort of plateau in the growth rate before an acceleration once we figure out the 4680. So I think the most important thing I'll be watching on the conference call going forward from Tesla, reading news leaks or whatever, is how fast is that 4680 cell ramping? Because if we're talking about a $650 billion company, you know, we need to be see this 4680 cell be on the road and be working. And I think a lot of that's already priced in. And so it's going to become a bottleneck on Tesla's growth if they can't do that production fast enough. And so I'm really fascinated to see, you know, do we get to 2 million cars by 2024 or 2022? Because I think that's all up in the air based on this 4680. And Tesla will continue to expand supply with their current battery supply chain. And they don't need that for growth in 2021, I believe. But in 2022, then that's when that'll come into play.
We keep hearing people saying that Tesla stock is overvalued. They're wrong. Long-term investors don't look at how many cars Tesla will sell in the fourth quarter of 2020 or the year 2020. That's short-term thinking. We don't look at short-term graphs to look at what the range is that the stock is trading in. Again, that's short-term thinking. We don't worry about what the bump is from Standard & Poor's 500 inclusion either. Again, that's a short-term thing. Maybe some meaningful value in it in the medium term, but long-term, that doesn't matter. Long-term thinking means you think about what Tesla will be worth in the future. Look out 5 years, look out 10 years, look at the business. What will they be making? What will they sell? How much is that worth? How much profit does that generate? And how does that translate to market capitalization, the value of the company, and share price? This gives us future value. And we can use future value to figure out what the stock is worth today. So if you hear someone say that Tesla is overvalued at $700 a share, it's time to ask questions. Ask that person simple questions about Tesla's future. How many batteries do you think Tesla is going to be producing in 2030? How many batteries do you think Tesla will be buying from suppliers in 2030? Most likely, they don't have answers to these questions because they're not thinking about the fundamental nature of the business. And do they think robotaxi is going to happen, and who's going to get there first, and will Tesla be successful in robotaxi? A lot of people just think robotaxi is not going to happen. I'm convinced robotaxi is happening sometime in 2021, 2022. That we're going to see this incredible change in the world with robotaxi. I think we're on the edge of it. We're really, really close. We're going to see the FSD4 chip. We're going to see Dojo running. We're seeing more and more vehicles getting more and more experience training the software. It's getting there. It's getting there fast. It's going to happen fast. And it's going to be 10 years from now, we're going to look back and say, why did people drive cars?
So, you have the bullish perspective now. I believe we need all the companies we can get to succeed on the EV market to substitute all 2 billion ICE vehicles around the globe. It's a massive task for the next 10 to 20 years. Tesla leads. But what about GM, VW, Audi, or even NIO? What about Apple Car or Google's Waymo? Let's finish with Kathy Wood, CEO of ARK Invest, talking about electric vehicles and the future of the auto industry.
And obviously you're a big fan of Tesla. Why do you continue to like this idea?
We still think it's way underestimated, even with the massive move it has had. It hit $350 at the bottom in March, and is now 1,900 roughly there.
Right, yeah, it went over 1,900 and fell back a little bit today.
Yes, and even with this, our bear case for this stock has been 1,500. Now that's a 5-year price target.
Okay.
That assumed that Tesla would lose market share. We first made this analysis in 2018. 2018, Tesla had 17% share of the global EV market, including China. Last year, I think I've got this number right, they had 23% share. We assumed for our bear case that Tesla would lose market share from that 17% and go down to, in our base case, 11%, and in our bear case, 6%. Instead, what has happened, it went up to 23% last year, and now I think we're up to, this is rough, as of mid-year, about 26%. So it's still increasing, has 79 to 80% share in the United States. And even in China, where I think there are 150 electric vehicle manufacturers, crazy. Tesla had in June 21% of that market. Think about that, 150, and Tesla is 21%. Now,
it's incredible, yeah.
It is incredible. So that's the first thing. So it's not losing share, it's gaining share. And in that bear case, we have nothing for autonomous at all, and nothing for ride hailing. Ride hailing, we do think they're going to start a ride hailing service this year. Wow. They're going to compete against Uber and Lyft. We believe if they do that, and again, we think they will, we think that the bear case is history.